Hey everyone, Jeff Sard from the Practical Drummer here. I'm going to show you another Flam fill as well as a groove to work out your right foot, your bass drum foot, if you're a right-handed player, a right-footed player. And so the Flam's pretty simple, but it sounds really awesome. So basically in 16th notes in 4/4, it's going to be another broken rhythm. But what I'm going to do is, if I start with a bass drum on 1, I'm going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Okay, so again, it's it's a 3-note grouping, but you're taking one of the notes out. So if I start on the bass drum with 1 E, then the and is silent. Then it starts over again on the da. Da 2 E is silent, and 3 is silent, and so forth. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Okay, so it's 4 E and 1. That's how it ends. Okay, 4 E and 1. The and is silent on the 4. Okay, so basically, with the tempo here. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm hitting a Flam, right? Nice fat Flam, principal note and grace note. And so I'm just starting with the bass drum on 1. Okay, so this is accentuating the 4/3 polyrhythm, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. You can actually hear it more prevalently because I start on the E with the snare drum, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, right? So, but I don't have to start on the 1 with the bass drum. I could start on the 1 with the snare drum, right? 2, 3, 4. So you can see I end with a Flam, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Okay, so the trick is it's a broken rhythm because it's groups of 3, but I'm taking out a note, right? So the trick is to play it with the left foot, okay? So I need to count 16th notes slowly. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. See, it's hard to do it slow, right? So you got to make sure 1 E and 2 would go right with the 2 on the left foot, right? And then it's and 3 E and 4 E and 1. That's it. So you just really got to break it down, okay? Or see, once you gain felicity with this, you'll be able to start it anywhere. If I want to start it on the and, for instance, the and on the bass drum, 3, 4, 1. You know, something like that. So, on the and, right? Okay, so what I want to show you though is the groove, and then what we're going to do is articulate this fill around the drum set. I don't have to just keep on the snare, right? But as long as you know what you're doing, you can bring it up to anywhere. You can Flam together with a cymbal, 2 drums. As long as you make sure to keep that Flam solid, right? I'll just do a couple variations here. So I'll do it with the bass drum starting on 1. you can see that third time I played it, it wasn't very clean. I rushed into the 1, okay? So I felt it, I knew it because I'm singing 16th notes in my head, 1 and a 2. I mean, now I have the vibe, I understand where everything fits because I've done it hundreds of times, if not thousands of times, because I can start it anywhere now. So I don't necessarily have to count 1 and a 2 and it, but I feel the polyrhythm and I know if I'm out of sync with it, okay? And I know how it resolves because I've done it so many times. So that third time, you might not have noticed it, but I did. It wasn't as clean as the first, second, and fourth ones, okay? So again, I'm just showing you different articulations of this polyrhythm. But the groove I want to show you is, so basically I'm going to play the ands, 8th notes here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm going to play ands with the left foot, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. So it's 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2, right? So actually 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4, okay? So every 1 and 3, every E and E of 1 and 3, and then the duh of 1 and 3, right? You're taking the and out. So put it together, it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see, 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2. So it dances around the 8th note, right? Because I'm not playing, I'm playing the E and the duh. 1 E and a 2. So you got to make sure that there's a clean double there. It's not, or you want to make it as close to sounding the same as possible, which is hard when it gets fast. Right? So you want to try this up to speed, but you want to count it first, make sure you got it, and then work on that right foot, playing these quick doubles in succession cleanly, okay? So I want to put these together. I'm going to play a little bit slow at first, and I'll play a couple rounds of this polyrhythmic fill, articulated different ways, and then I will up the tempo, so you can just check it out, okay? And sometimes I like to add the grace note, 1 E and 1 E and a 2. See that? 1 E and a 2. You can even do it up, right? So here we go. So it just kind of gives it a fuller feel. So I might add that in as well. You could do it on the left-hand sound source. You could do it up on the bell. Something like that, right? Okay? So here we go. I'm going to play the drum groove, play some fills, starting with the 1 on the bass drum, 1 and a 2, that one. And then I'll up the tempo and see where we go, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? I just messed up. I want to keep the left foot going on the ands. I rushed the fill, so I came back and I was on quarter notes here. You really have to catch yourself in the act, right? So I'm going to try that again. Okay, I'm going to try it slow. 1 and 2 and here we go. Okay, so that was pretty good. Now let's up the tempo. 3 and 4. So you get the gist, and try that out. Again, fumble the ball, flub it up, stop, just like I did, and try it again to try to make sure that it's perfect, okay? It's really tough to play this left foot fill if you're on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... See that? So that was the ands. I showed you in the beginning of the video playing on the quarter notes. That's an added challenge to play the fill on the ands, or even solo when you're playing on the ands, right? For instance, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... You know, something like that, right? That whole kind of solo, the left foot was playing on the ands, not on the quarter notes. It presents a much deeper independence challenge to be able to play the ands while you're playing anything on top of it. So that's why I'm having you do it in the fill, in the groove, you know? 1 E and 1, right? It just starts you getting that vibe on the left foot, and then when you move to the polyrhythmic fill, you've got to figure out how to keep this consistent on the ands as you pull this fill off, right? So again, it's just a logistical 1 E and 2 E and so forth. You've got to really break it down, even maybe write it down, so that you know how your body fits in with the left foot on the ands. So that's it for now. Good luck, everybody, and happy practicing. Take care.